Hi kids. Okay, I'm going to talk to you real quick about Guided Class Practice 113A. And the reason I am doing this is because it has a word problem that I want to go over with you, but I inadvertently got two of the multiplying by 5 sheets instead of my guided practice. So I only have my answer key. So I don't have the copy that you have, but I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. Put back on these glasses. You know I need them to read. And this is similar to the graph that we did with the money, except it is going in a different direction. But let's look at number 1 and Guided Class Practice 113A. The children in Mrs. Affinito's class chose their favorite fruits. 8 children chose bananas, 15 children chose oranges, and 7 children chose apples. Color the graph to show how many children chose each type of fruit. So, first of all, let's underline exactly what we have to find out. And this is what we have to do. We have to color the graph that shows how many children chose each type of fruit. That's what we're supposed to do. So let's go back up and look for the information. Okay. 8 children chose bananas. So bracket that for me. 8 children chose bananas. Now let's go over to the graph, and we see bananas is at the top, and it goes horizontally. The numbers are at the bottom, which is different than we did with our money. So you're going to shade in the boxes very neatly for me over to 8. Okay? Very neatly. And then the next one says 15 children chose oranges. So bracket that for me. 15 children chose oranges. Now, there isn't a number for 15. There's a 14 and a 16 because we know that each box is a value of 2. So we are going to shade all the way over to halfway in between 14 and 16. All right. Then let's go down for the last fruit, and that is 7 children chose apples. So go over again. 7 is an odd number, and this is all by 2s, so they're even numbers. So we're going to go between the 6 and the 7, and we're going to color it halfway through. Okay? So the question underneath that says, write a question for the graph. So remember, you're going to have a capital letter, and you're going to have a period, and you're going to look at that information, and you're going to write a question. One that I could think of right away would be, how many children chose bananas? Another question I could think of would be, what was the favorite fruit of the kids in Mrs. Affinito's class? So you look at that information and you try to come up with a sentence that tells us something about that graph. Okay? Number 2, about how much might the lunchbox of a child in your classroom weigh? So we can look at that real quick. We know that 200 pounds is not going to work. 4 pounds, that sounds interesting. 100 pounds or 40 pounds. Okay, 4 pounds would be the correct answer. And then I want you to look at number 3 real quick, and it has you measure this shape, which is a triangle. It's using centimeters, and you are getting the perimeter of the triangle. So remember that word perimeter. Okay, then we're going to look at the clock. And you are to look at that time down to the minute. And I'm not going to give you that answer. I want you to look on your answer sheet. But what I did want to talk to you about real quick is number 5, because I don't think we've done this for a bit. Remember, you have to look at the equation first and see if there's any work you need to do. We are going to do greater than, less than, or equal to. Well, the first one's pretty straightforward. 35 is greater than, less than, or equal to 53. Okay? But the next 2, you have to actually solve the problem first. Okay? So 8 plus 37. You're going to need to get that answer first before you try to put in this comparison symbol. And then 9 times 5 is what? You're going to get that answer before you put in the comparison symbol. And if you need to rewrite 8 plus 37 vertically over on the side, you can do that. And then on the last one, you need to do 16 minus 7 equals what? And then 14 minus 6 equals what? And then put in the correct comparison symbol. Okay, then on number 6, we are rewriting the problems vertically, and we are getting the answers. And notice the symbols are different. Now, I want to challenge you, boys and girls, if you had any trouble with any of these questions, I want you to start turning it over on the back. I would love for you to do it again and do the whole paper by yourself. I'd love for you to start doing that. But if you had specific problems, I definitely want you to turn it over and do the like problem on the back. Does that make sense? Okay, boys and girls, bye-bye.